Right, ladies and gents, I won't say prototype because it's what would be described as a pre-prototype. Just wanted to make a camp bed using the old military sort of hammock, come stretcher, it has a number of uses. Here you see it can be used as a pole bed. First time I've tried to do anything like this. Two things, it's all a learning experience, so I need to bone up or gen up on the old lashings and so forth. But I think I've got that done, that's sturdy enough. I realised the poles here, the A-frame poles, to bring that up off the floor will need to be at least shoulder height. They're probably just over waist height, so they've got to be a lot taller. That's the ones here and all the way down, and these poles here, well, bless them, they've just got to be a lot thicker to take a fat git like me. But yeah, I'll just have a quick look around it. But the aim of the day was just really to come out and build something you haven't built before. And my idea is just keeping it low. There's run paracord through there, and literally poncho would go up and over in an A-frame straight over this. Again, this is the first time we've just put it together. I ain't sort of making this flash or fancy. Like I say, I need to work on the old bindings, but that needs to be at least there, so when it does sag down, I'm still a good sort of 6 to 8 inches off the ground. I mean, to me, if that was metal now, that would be perfect. If that was a metal framed sort of thing, because there'd be very little sag in it. But once you get that, your actual arse can just touch the floor. So that needs to be obviously higher, and that's the way I'm going to do that, by using longer ones of these, so that when I've got the actual outreach on it, it will take this bed bit here higher. But yeah, I say fun, educational doing it, realising, I mean, there's a lot more work I need to do, and what's fun about it is it's just finding out ways, or you come across a problem, and we're going to get around that. But anyway, yeah, tight wad and a little bit of input from Barry there. That's the first sort of camp bed, I think we'll call this. But I want to incorporate a shelter where there's either a piece of wood going across there or paracord, and that will be a simple poncho over the top there. So I'm going to go around and hunt for some more wood here. I'm very mindful of where I'm taking it from, but you know, if you need some wood and you take it from like areas where, you know, there's too many trees going in that one area, then, you know, I haven't got a problem with that, as long as you're going to use it and then reuse it. But obviously not in the local locale, but there's plenty of stuff around here, and most of it's been harvested. You know, this is supposed to be a nature area, but they're coming and cleaning it all out now, so it looks pretty for people when they're walking their dogs and they don't get any thorns on them, which annoys me no end. But anyway, yeah, my camp bed. Right, ladies and gents, the mission for today was, one, to come out, chill out, don't stress out about anything, and actually build something. Very much a learning curve, which is what it's all about. You can watch all the videos that you want in the world, but until you come out and try and do something, you come across the problems, you learn how to solve the problems. And that's certainly given me a bit to think about doing this today. This is literally, seriously, just a prototype. It will work. I could sleep in there. I have been in there. There are some pictures to prove it. I had to overcome some problems. The major thing I've learnt about this is that the diagonal poles, they've got to be stronger, and the ones that you'll see later on coming down there, I've actually stuck a stump underneath. I'm not going to walk away and just cut down trees unnecessarily just to prove a point. If I ever come to build one, and I will build a proper one, and one that will be here stationary, you know, I know what to do now, because I've gone through, this is what I call like a dry run, you know. Certainly people in the old army will recognise that saying. One thing I will say, that's the United States Marine Marpac camouflage, and I just think it's brilliant, seriously. It just blends in just so well, unbelievable. So when people start about all these camouflages and that, for me that's the one that works. On a UK woodland floor, that just almost disappears. Anyway, ladies and gents, probably took about an hour, but wasn't timing it, hour and 20 minutes. I think probably more of that was talking, scratching head and farting, to be honest. But I haven't pegged down this side, but the idea is there's a frame, there's a bed, and it's A-frame tarp going over it. Now what's annoying about this tarp, it will keep me dry, but I would love this to be another 12, I mean we'd all like 12 inches lads, wouldn't we? I'd love that, to be able to get that on the material in a roll and do one another 12 inches. Just go right to the ends of that. It will keep me dry, but I'm going to have a little walk about and just have a little talk about this. Because it's not the finished article. I'm not putting this up as hey ho, look at me. I'm a master builder of like beds and covers and so forth, but it's been a bit of fun and really relaxing to do. So we'll nip round the back first because I've got that staked out. As we can go see down there, that water would run off there, such an oblique angle, no problems. I'd collect the water in the middle there, any water coming off that. Like I say, oh, got to be careful because my back's none too brilliant. Hopefully going back to walk tomorrow. If I can come out and have a bit of a mess about in the woods, then I can certainly go to work, which I will do tomorrow. But there we are, here it is inside. When I lie in that, I'm not touching the floor. We found out the old strappings will do that as well, saved a bit of stuff. I've only used white paracord from an IPK kit because, you know, just cutting it about and all that type of stuff. I'm going to leave it here so if somebody nicks it or it goes missing, you know, I'm not going to cry. But there's the old A-frame, support coming out. And obviously at night time you'd peg that out so it was nice and taut. I'm going to fling it over so we can have a look at it now. And I can say I did that. But yeah, there we go. There's the old British Army, well I call it a jungle hammock. In there the pole's going down the side. And again, that's because it got down, these certainly just not thick enough. That's fair enough. I'm not just going to go and kill 2 trees just to prove a point. And I now know, even though I want it low, that A-frame will need to be at least my shoulder height. That comes just above my waist, just to give that the right height that I need. Although, if there was all stronger and thicker, it certainly would work. Because, well, I don't know. I suppose me being an old soldier, I like to be close to the ground. Just don't think about doing anything else. But the tarp, even though a little bit shorter than I would like, does actually cover the bed, and push comes to shove you could sleep on there and remain reasonably dry. Obviously you've got the 2 open ends, but that's you know, the same with any tarp. Oh, and now it sounds daft, I just threw a few things in my Bergen. You might see that later on, just a little Bergen. Come out today, didn't want a lot of weight in because like I say my back's a bit well, I'll give it a pull, giving it a rest, but I needed to dig a hole. Now normally I've got a light little shovel trail, but you know, when you come to that, that's the Ministry of Defence survival knife. Well, you know, it's a tool. It's something you obviously think a lot of, but you use. Now when I wanted to dig that in a little bit, I haven't got, because I've only got my little Bergen, which I'm not going to, I might show you later on, but it's fair enough. You know, when people say, oh, it's a knife and this and that, I mean, you wouldn't see most people doing this with a you know, one of your Beckers or a Draculaur or whatever you needed to, whatever your favourite style of knife, because a knife's for cutting. But it's just to re-emphasise that that's what I did to dig it in. I went, blimey, here we go. Yeah, you can hear it hitting stones, and it has done. And you wouldn't normally use a knife for digging, but today I didn't have anything else, and guess what? It did the job. Dug meat. I'm not going to bore you to death. You can see that, yeah. So it's a tool, not just a knife. A jack of all trades. You won't see many people digging with their knife. Oh. Anyway, obviously me, what do they call that? The cordage work needs a bit more working on that. It's not flashing, it's nothing fancy, but as I was going along, I learned, but I've done one side, and this side's a lot better than that side, because I learned from that side, like leaving enough ends to tie off and stuff. But I've been in that. Do you reckon that'd keep me dry, Barry?
Oh yeah.
Surprisingly comfortable being in there, to be honest.
More than keep you dry, I'd have thought.
Yeah. No, for first attempt, and that's what we wanted today. Well, I wanted just come over and do something, you know. Literally took about an hour, mate, didn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had some stronger ones of these, and I'm not going to go like killing some sort of trees or trotting them down in here just to make a point. Maybe I'll bring some stronger wood across myself, mate. You know, if I want to do that. And again, this needs to be a lot taller. So we've learnt a lot of lessons, really, mate, haven't we? Had a little bit of a You got.
It's just an experiment, wasn't it?
Yeah, just well, a dry run. And you understand what that means, mate. Yeah, and I think we like one on it to practice my cordage, but we did have a problem in that bent so much.
Yeah.
It's fairly simple. A stump, so that was like off deadwood, but that bit was actually off the floor, so it's not rotten. And I realised I needed to dig it in to stop it swaying too much. So I didn't have a shovel. Knife, job done. Most people wouldn't use a knife to dig a hole, but it's a tool. And again, if I want to make it pretty, I'm not going to cut these a little bit shorter now, but certainly.
Well, if you're leaving it in situ for a while, you could cover the ends up and use it to cover your burgen in.
But certainly that thrown over there. Oh, that makes sense. Because I'm just loving that United Marpac camo. Yeah, yes, mate. And you know, this is some. You got very minimal tools, bit of paracord, minimum tools. Yeah, and well, hey, I built that.
It's one step up from a A-frame, isn't it?
It is, mate. Yeah.
Well, A-frame top anyway.
Yeah.
You're off the
ground. Yeah.
So,
but
you know, you're out of the wet.
Yeah. No, yeah, happy enough with that. It's next one will be a lot better. So I won't keep banging on about stuff, but there's just some of the tools I use. Obviously, wouldn't be without in the woods. Like the old Laplander. As I say, my MOD survival knife. That's had a good wedging out today, including being used to dig in. Just something I come across which is quite good from Wilkinson's. 6-inch, and they're biodegradable pegs. If you leave one of these, they will biodegrade, and they're incredibly, I'll break one now, won't I? Incredibly strong, I'll tell you what. And there's how many of them in there? 10, I'll tell you what. You can get a little stuff sack with them, and they cost £2. Couldn't pass it up. And again, it's a bit of white paracord. Obviously I've got loads of green stuff on that. I'm not going to, just for an experimental day, but yeah, use some of that out of the old IPK stuff. So anyway, ladies and gents, that's my old A-frame bed, tent, shelter, whatever. Anyway, take care. Right, ladies and gents, proof is in the pudding. Would that see me right for a night out and keep me dry? Have a look now. I've got a bad back at the moment, so if I'm a little bit trepidation getting into it, that's because I don't want to pull me back again, because I'm going back to work tomorrow. So yeah, let's have a go, and if it goes, it goes. I've been in this couple of 3-4 times now, just laid in that just to give it a good old test. I can confirm it's comfortable. I put my head on that. Well, it's actually an insulating mat there. I might do a video on it later on, I don't know. And I was nearly asleep, yeah, so I could certainly sleep in that, and certainly sleep on my side, which is what I like to do. Right, anyway, this is going to end this video. Put my legs in. I've got to be careful because I don't want to pull me back again. Oh, that's it. Actually, when you lay in that, it kind of stretches me back a bit, which is quite nice. And yeah, there we go. I'd like the poncho a bit longer, but these things come standard military size. It's pegged out. It's not, once the other side's pegged out, it is well off my face by about that much. Obviously, this is just a a camp bed with a cover over the top. The next one I make, these will be as high as me, just to raise that up a little bit. But yeah, no, I could certainly. I mean, if you had a piece of paracord going down there, it's just the same. But I've got a bed, I've got myself off the floor, insulation, a couple of ideas on that. But again, that's what it's all about: coming out, having a go, building one, learning what I've got to improve my skills on. And obviously the second one's always better than the first, and we always know that, don't we? No, but I've got to be really honest, this is very, very comfortable. Obviously in the winter, you've got to think about some insulation. Even if you put a roll mat in here, it's sort of, well, you're going to be no better on than you've got like an army roll mat and you're on the floor. You're actually going to be better because you're off the floor, if that makes sense. And as it comes for, even if I had to put loads of bracken and stuff underneath the whole thing, that'd be nice. But seriously, I don't know if I'm going to do another video because I might just have a snooze in this. It is really, really comfortable, ladies and gents. And I'll just show you. Obviously, it would be pegged out, and you'd come in through either end and so forth. But once pegged out, it's well off my face. I've got that much room at the top. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Bye. yeah, certainly pegged out and so forth. Once that's pulled out and pegged down, that's well off my face, and that water's got a really nice run off there. Obviously in the date, you know, like that. Oh. And again, I'm surprised these have held up, but that's because I dug them in a bit. I've got to be careful getting out because I probably look a bit stupid, but that's, oh, that would have pulled me back. Right, so yeah, camp bed, tarpaulin, Mark 1. I'm quite happy with that for the first one. Probably looks a little bit staff, a little bit droopy, but with what I've learned from that, the next one will be a lot better. Anyway, ladies and gents, take care. Right, ladies, gents, before we get a big gust of wind, because I've just put that over it, I haven't pegged it down. That's the DPM Desert Basher, British Army issue. And how weird is that? That is exactly probably 12 inches longer than the American Marines one underneath, and certainly with that 12 inches makes a hell of a difference. There is no way I would get wet in that. Well, if it's rain's coming in from that side at a hell of an angle, we've all heard of horizontal rain, but yeah, absolutely brilliant. Because I always wondered with the old 58 bashers what you give the ponchos, it was always a little bit too sharp, but you see what I mean? You can see where the bed ends. I haven't pegged it down, I've just thrown it over. But that's just a first out, and I'll give that since I give it a wash. That cost me £6 at a boot fair. Oh, and with a bag as well. And as you can see, once pulled down and over, you've got a good sort of, what, several inches there. Oh, more than several inches. Yeah. And it's a shame really, because that's got a very waxy feel to it. So I know, you know, if you was to take this and wazzed off a few sort of uprights and just put a little bit of green in there, that wouldn't make sort of fairly effective autumn camouflage for the British woodland floor. But yeah, how weird's that? You can see where, and it overhangs the same. It's only the want of about 6 inches either side. It makes a lot of difference once that's pulled out. You're covering your shelter. Yeah, it's a weird, just scratched my head and thought, I'll tell you what, I'll just try the other tarp over that, see what that looks like as well. But yeah, job done. That's sort of 10 to 12 inches longer than the American one, which probably suit that little setup I've got there a lot better. Anyway, take care.